Hello, Algebra 1. Today we're going to take a look at now writing equations of lines when we're given information. And this is one of our key skills that we're going to be doing for the next week or so. Make sure you take good notes. I'm going to do 3 example problems for you, and then you'll have 1 problem to do on your own. So let's take a look at the instructions here. Your goal is to write the equation, use the given information to find the equation of a line, and write your equation in slope-intercept form, and then we'll use Desmos to verify that we are correct. So just a reminder about when we say that something is in slope-intercept form, what that means, remember, is we want y equals mx plus b. We will be successful when we figure out what m and b are, which we remember are the slope and the y-intercept. So when we know those two things, we'll be in good shape. Okay, so let's see what we have in the first example here. We're told that we have a line that has a slope of -2, and we're told a point that it passes through. It goes through the line 3, -1. So imagine in a coordinate grid here, we have a point here 3, -1. There's somehow a line that goes through and meets that point and has a slope of -2. So how are we going to deal with this? So here's how I suggest you start. You start off by writing slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And remind yourself that your goal is to figure out what m is and what b is. And ask yourself, do you have any information about either of those two things? Well, I hope you'll agree right away. Well, they've told me the slope is -2. And we know that that's m. So we know m is -2. So I'm going to write down y equals -2x plus b. So I already know the slope. It's -2. So I'm already halfway there. I just need to figure out what the y-intercept is. And here's how we're going to figure out the y-intercept. This is kind of a new idea here. We're going to take this point, and remember that any point is written in the order xy. The point 3, -1 is going to fit this equation. It's going to be a solution to this equation. So we're going to use the numbers 3 and -1 as representative x's and y's, and we're going to plug them into the equation. So if I look at my equation now, the y I'm going to use is -1 equals -2 times, well, the x I have is 3, plus b. So again, I plugged in the x and the y from the point I was given in the x and y position. Well, if you look at what I have now, I just have an equation that I'm going to solve, and I'm going to figure out what b equals. Let me scroll up a little bit. I think that looks satisfying. So I have -1 equals -2 times 3 is -6 plus b. I want to figure out what b is. So I'm going to take this -6 and move it to the other side by adding it. And therefore, 5 equals b. Oh, b equals 5. The y-intercept is 5. So that means my equation is y equals -2. I knew the slope before, -2x plus 5. That is the equation of the line I'm looking for. Y equals -2x plus 5. And I can verify that on Desmos because what I've done here is, here's the point 3, -1. And if I type in the equation that I just gave, y equals -2x plus 5, notice that line goes through the point that I wanted it to, and this line has a slope of -2. So I have successfully done what the problem asked for. I have found the equation of a line that has a slope of -2, and it passes through the point 3, -1. Okay? So there's my first example. Let's try a second one. All right, here's my second one. Line has a slope of 1/2, and they've given me a point it passes through -2, 5. I always start off by writing y equals mx plus b. My goal is to figure out what m and b are. Oh, I know the slope. They gave me the slope. How nice of them to give me the slope. Y equals 1/2 x plus b. I have to figure out what b is. I'm going to do that by plugging in these two numbers for x and for y, -2 and 5, because that's an xy pair they have given me here. So I'm going to plug those in. So y I'm going to use as 5 equals 1/2 times -2 plus b. So 5 equals, well, -1/2 times -2, that's half of -2. That's -1 plus b. I just need to figure out what b is. Add 1 to both sides, and it reveals that 6 equals b. b equals 6. So therefore, my equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 6. That's the equation I need. And I'm not going to check them all on Desmos. You can verify on Desmos if you like that y equals 1/2 x plus 6 will go through that point. And it will have a slope of 1/2. All right, 2 examples. Just one more example to do. Here's our third example. All right, example 3. Oh, I want a line that passes through these 2 points. Oh, wait a minute. So this time, imagine 2 points in space. They're going to be connected by a line. I want the equation of that line. We've done this visually before, but how do we do it if we just have the points? Well, don't panic. Start where we usually start. I want y equals mx plus b. I need to figure out the slope and the y-intercept. They haven't given me the slope this time, but I have 2 points, and I have a formula for slope. So this time, I'm going to use our old friend, the slope formula we know is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Be careful with your negatives. Y2 minus y1, that will be 9 minus 1 over negative 2 minus 2. That's 8 divided by negative 4. Oh, that's negative 2. The slope, I think I've gone off the screen here. I'll write it here. M is negative 2. Oh, I had to find the slope using the formula because they gave me 2 points. Perfect. So I can plug this in. Y equals negative 2x plus b. And now to figure out what b is, I need 1 point to plug in, but they give me 2 points. And the good deal here is you don't need to use both points. You just need one of the points, and you can pick. Either one will give you the correct equation. So usually what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a point that has a 0 in it or it doesn't have negatives in it. So I'm going to use 2, 1. I'm going to use this one. So x is 2, y is 1. I'll use that point. So I will have 1 equals negative 2 times 2 plus b. Finish it up like last time. 1 equals negative 4 plus b. And I figure out that's a b. B. And I will figure out by adding 4 to both sides that 5 equals b. Aha. So my equation, make sure you write the equation at the end, is y equals negative 2x plus 5. And that is my equation. Perfect. So if you stick with the work and write nice, neat work and keep it organized, you'll be in good shape. If you scroll down, there's one more problem. The you try problem. It is expected that you will try the you try problem, and we will talk about that one in class on Tuesday. Okay? So please bug me if you have any questions, and I will see you guys tomorrow.